Hey, I hope you're doing well. Today I'd like to talk about anticipation and doubles. I'm going to show you a quick example here from Costa Rica, which, by the way, it's like 5 degrees outside here in Wisconsin. This was just a week or two ago, so it's fun to look back and see how nice of a environment we were in. So we've got a feed coming in here from Scott going cross court, and the whole point of this drill here was to rally cross court the two baseline players, which is the most common pattern that we see, typically the server and the returner hitting back and forth, trying to avoid the two net players. And here's why people don't anticipate well. People don't anticipate well because they don't know what to watch in the first place. And we've been told as tennis players to watch the ball thousands and thousands and thousands of times. And there's many times in tennis where you should, in fact, almost every time your opponent hits the ball, you should not be watching the ball. And in doubles, when your partner hits the ball, you should not be hitting the ball. Let me show you why. This is just a perfect example. So we have the feed going in cross court, and I want you to watch the eyes of this net player right here. At this present moment, they're looking across to see what's going to happen with the other net player, which is really what matters. If this net player poaches, or let's say goes to the alley, then this player would really like to know that because it's the biggest indication about what's coming next. But watch what she does here. As the ball starts to bounce, look at how she looks back and turns. And now look at what's starting to happen with the player in blue. The player in blue has timed this really nicely, by the way. Just about as the racket starts moving forwards from the opposite baseline player, this net player is starting to move. Does this net player have any idea? No. They have no clue because look at how the timing is perfect here. This player at the net looks back exactly before the other net player starts making their move. And so this person is going to have the opportunity to make a full 2 steps, maybe even 3 steps, before the opposite net player starts to turn her eyes back around, which means that in essence, this player on this side of the net just has a free pass. And his opponent is going to have zero opportunity to pre-position themselves, to be able to respond like mentally or physically and say, holy crap, he's poaching. I guess I better get ready. I suppose I better get my racket, set, because if he gets a high ball, he's probably going to hit it down at my feet. How about, oh, maybe I can buy myself some time here by moving back because, oh, I see you moving. Before he gets the ball, the player in the blue here, the player on the opposite side should know already that it's happening. That's anticipation. That's the definition of anticipation, is knowing that something is going to happen before it actually happens. And this player in the blue is telling us ahead of time what is likely going to happen here, but the player in the black on the other side is going to have no idea. So watch when her head actually turns back around. Right? So notice how she's watching the ball. So the ball's been hit right here. And now watch her visor turn around, and right about now, she's going to know that the player in blue is making a move. He's already taken 2 steps, and he's already in the middle of the court. And so if he does if he does intercept this ball, the best that this player can hope for is reactionary movement. Holy crap, he's poaching. By then it's already too late and there's nothing she can do about it. In addition to the vision in the eyes, watch what her feet are doing. Watch what her feet are doing right here. She's taking an active step forwards as her opponent is making an active step towards the middle. So not only does she not know if the ball is going to get intercepted, not only does she not have an early indication, but she's actively moving in the wrong direction. If this player in blue does get a high ball and she's actively moving towards him as he gets a high forehand volley, then she's actually making her job harder and not easier. So what should you be doing? As the ball goes back behind you to your partner back on the baseline, your eyes should be locked on the person across from you, the opposite net player, because they're the one that you need to keep tabs on. They're the one that poses the threat. They're the one that has the next chance to get the next ball. And I've heard every argument in the book on this from tennis players over the years, doubles players saying, "Oh, I need to see if my partner's going to love, or I need to see if they're like balanced or if they're struggling." It really doesn't matter. All that matters is if that opposite net player is going to get the ball or not. Your partner might be falling over and reaching and stretching and falling, backwards and like like the biggest struggle ever to get the ball. But if the opposite net player is just standing there in their alley like a bump on the log, then you still want to be offensive. If they're not going to intercept it, it's not your partner that's going to tell you if the net player is going to get it. It's the net player that's going to tell you if the net player is going to get it, not your partner. So your partner's going to do what your partner's going to do. But the net player on the other side, you have no control over them, and they're the ones that are the threat to you, not your partner. So much better to see what your opponent is doing and the threat that they pose or don't pose than being a spectator and watching your partner back behind you. So this is one of many, many, many things in doubles that can allow you to have an early jump on the action. It's a huge one. It's one of the most common mistakes. So that's why I wanted to show you this example. Hopefully it's super helpful. And if so, let me know, and I'll do more of this kind of point play analysis so you can have more of a jump on your opponents in doubles. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you again soon.